In the hustle and bustle of giving and getting, it's so easy to overlook the true meaning of Christmas. But this year, let's come home to the heart of what Christmas is all about.
Ho, 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 ho. Come in and know me better, man. Ho, 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 ho. Wow. What's this?
This is the North Pole.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Where's the snow?
Isn't it a little big?
It's not big, it's just full.
Yeah, that's like wouldn't fit in our yard.
Not going in our yard, Russ. It's going in our living room.
May this be a blessed Christmas for you, with Jesus Christ in your heart and life.
Hello, everyone, and Merry Christmas. We are here today for a special episode of the Establishing Shot podcast, a podcast where we usually do deep dives into directors and their filmographies, but today we will not be doing that. We will be doing a special mega Christmas movie draft. It's going to be a fun one. I'm really excited. If you haven't joined us before, our usual fare is going through the movies of a director, movie by movie, through their whole filmography, deep diving, and looking at, all the fun stuff about how the movie was made, what the movie's about, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, today it's just for fun, which it's always for fun, but this one's especially, I feel like, for fun. But yeah, I'm Eli Price. I am the host of the show, and I have two guests with me today. Usually we have just one, but we have two today for this mega draft. So we have back our guest from the Tenet episode, Andrew Fossier, here with us. Second-time guest, and also Harrison Fredericks, second-time guest also. He was with me for, I believe it was the Royal Tenenbaums episode, if that's right.
It was. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah. Glad to have both of you back. And so, yeah, we're going to be drafting Christmas movies. It's going to be a fun, interesting episode. It's a little different than our usual drafts too. Maybe a similar. I did a kind of a horror subgenre draft with Zachary Lee on an episode back in October, and it'll be a little similar to that. We have categories that we've got to fill, yeah. So I guess I'll for the audience. Go over some of the details real quick of the draft, and then we can randomize the draft order and jump right in. How's that sound?
I'm ready. Hey, it's Christmas time.
Sweet.
Let's get it.
Yes. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Now, no mercy from here on out, Yeah, so basically in our typical drafts, what we're doing is we have a category that we're drafting from, and we just go back and forth, kind of picking what movies we like best from that category. Me and Andrew did a spy movie draft on the episode he was on with me, so we went back and forth choosing from the spy movie category. Andrew beat me in that movie draft.
It was close, but yes.
It was close. And then I think Harrison, we did the Disney classics. I think
Yep.
Animated Disney
And I
classics.
totally messed
That
up
was fun.
how a draft actually works. I remember that well.
I remember that. It still worked out well. I think I barely beat you. I think it was like by a vote or two.
It was close. I think you got me with Peter Pan.
I was surprised.
should
I
not
thought
have
you were
drafted
going to beat
Peter Pan.
Yeah. Peter Pan. People aren't so sure about that one anymore, I guess. But yeah, so today, since there's 3 of us, can't just go back and forth. So we're going to be doing what is called a snake draft. All that means is the pick order will reverse each round. So basically, pick one person in the 1 slot, the 2 slot, then the 3 slot, and then it'll be the 3 slot again, and then the 2 and the 1, and then the 1 and the 2 and the 3, and so on. It'll basically snakes back and forth instead of going straight like linear 1 through 3 each round. So that's basically how the order will go. I'm going to randomize the order right before we draft. I'll do that in a second. But before I do that, let me read out the categories we will be drafting from so that you can kind of keep up with that at home if you want to. And of course, we'll be posting the results of the draft for the people out there to vote on who had the best draft. So there will be basically a winner and then 2 losers, a first place loser and a second place loser.
Hey, that's what Christmas is all about, man.
Exactly. Competition. But yeah, here's the categories. We have 7 of them. The first is blockbuster. So we're categorizing blockbuster as movies that have made $100 million in the worldwide box office or higher. Usually you would probably do domestic box office, but the numbers I found were worldwide, and so that's what we're going by. So yeah, blockbuster. The next category is action, horror, fantasy. So any movies in those genres can be picked in that category. The next 2 are also genre categories, and those are comedy and drama. And then animated is the next category. So an animated movie. And we have 2 more. One is short specials and TV. That category is basically anything short film that's less than 45 minutes. Maybe a special that aired on TV or a streaming service, Christmas special, or a TV episode. If you have a TV episode that you love, you can draft it in that category. That's a Christmas TV episode, of course. And the last one is wild card, which is pretty self-explanatory. You can put anything you want in there. It's a wild card. But yeah, that's our categories we're drafting from. I'm excited. I'm going to pull up a randomizer. I'm going to hold it up to the screen, click randomize so that we can all see. Maybe you can't. It's on my phone. You can't really see it.
We trust you, Eli, in the spirit of Christmas.
If you hold it at the right angle, you can kind of see it. All right. So I have our names in this randomizer. I have the cookies cleared. And I'm going to hit randomize. And the order is picking first, Harrison. Picking second is me. And picking Andrew is... Picking third is Andrew. I just said picking Andrew. I can test
these results on every roll.
So I actually was hoping for first or third, so that because you can double up on picks when you're picking first or third. So yeah, I ended up with the short end of the stick, I feel like, here. But that's what I'll blame it on if I lose, that I picked second, right in the middle. Okay. Well, that's the order. So it'll be Harrison picking first, and then me, and then Andrew. So basically what we'll do is when you're up to pick, you will, you can name the movie and the category that you are picking it in, and then we can talk about it between each pick. So yeah, Harrison, you're up with the first pick. What you got?
Cool. So after briefly looking at the categories, there's one that really concerned me because I don't think I have a ton of options. So I'm going to go after the short specials and TVs category first. I feel like if I nail this one down, I feel pretty confident about the rest of the categories. So
okay,
the Charlie Brown Christmas, is that a special? Does that count as a special?
Yeah, it's a short and a special, I think.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and lock that in, if I can, as my first one. Charlie Brown Christmas is a classic. The animation, honestly, still kind of holds up today. It's several decades old, but it's still great. It's a classic that airs on TV to this day. They play it every year. And it's also one of the only specials, movies, Christmas like visual parts that still incorporates like the story from the Bible. So it's kind of
Mhm.
rare in that aspect,
Christmas
and
story.
those are the reasons why I like it so much.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard not to love the Charlie Brown Christmas special. I think that's a really smart pick, actually,
Yeah.
because it is a harder category to choose from, and that was probably the number one pick for that category. It was mine, anyways. I don't know about Andrew, but
I had it on my list. It's
Yeah,
a good one.
yep. All right, I am up now, and I honestly don't know how you guys feel about this movie. I love this movie, and it is my favorite Christmas movie. And so I'm going less with the strategy here and more with the heart. And I am going to go ahead so that no one else has the opportunity and take a Muppet Christmas Carol in comedy. I love A Muppet Christmas Carol. It's my favorite movie. Gonzo as Charles Dickens is the best Christmas character, I think. And then, you've got Michael Caine playing straight, like he's playing a straight Scrooge in the Muppet world, which is phenomenal, fantastic, and he does it so well. And then all the songs are great. Like I walk around humming the songs all Christmas season. So yeah, that's my favorite Christmas movie of all time. I watch it every year. A Muppet Christmas Carol.
Good.
Do y'all like A Muppet Christmas Carol?
Yeah. That's a strong choice as well.
Yeah, it's a family tradition for us. I think when I was a kid, I remember the Jacob and Robert Marley scene would like give me nightmares. I just remember being terrified of the ghost brothers. And now that I'm an adult, it's like, dude, they're just Muppets. But, when you're a kid, things like that kind of freak you out. Overall, though, it's the music is probably the best part for me.
Oh, yeah. And I just love Gonzo and Rizzo, like telling the story. It's great. I love it. But yeah, Andrew, you're up. You've got 2 picks. Where are you going to go first?
Well, I am actually really glad I am third. Because my weakest category, I feel like, well, weakest in that I didn't have a lot of options for it.
Yeah.
But is drama.
Okay.
I am going to grab It's a Wonderful Life. And I know that is, that's probably, I don't know if this is accurate. I feel like that's the most Christmas movie. I don't know why. I remember seeing it in high school for the first time, and it was an impactful thing. I don't know. I really liked it. It's a drama. It's a good drama pick, but I didn't have very many to follow up, so I'm glad I got to.
That's fair, yeah.
Cinch drama.
Yeah, I mean that's a top pick anyway, so like it's not like you're wasting a pick there. It's a well-loved Christmas classic for sure.
Yeah. And then I think I'm gonna go. Man, I don't know where to go next. I guess I will grab action horror fantasy with a very strong Violent Night. I know that might be a wild one, but as soon as I saw action, I was like, yeah, that's where I'm going.
Okay, yeah. So Violent Night, I actually just watched it like
Really?
a couple days ago, I think.
Yeah.
Like for this draft, and I actually really liked it.
Yeah,
I thought it was really good. Like I saw some people's reviews on Letterboxd that gave it like 2 stars, and they're like, I don't know, their critique was like, made me say like, what movie did you think you were gonna watch when you turned this on? Like, it's in the title that it's gonna be like kind of a corny action movie. Like,
Yeah, well, the thing that just stuck with me about it that I liked so much was the different take on Santa, like the darker, kind of more serious. Because you see Santa action, you think ho ho ho, something funny, and it really went darker and serious, and I liked that about it.
Yeah, your first view of Santa is Santa in a bar between towns, before going to the next town. Is hitting up the bar.
Yeah.
And there were some flashbacks to like who he was before he was Santa, and I was like, ooh, I'd like to see the movie of that transition.
Right. That's what I mean about like the darker, more serious Santa Claus, because that's not really that I'm aware of been done in that way, at least.
Yeah.
So it's
a unique Santa movie. It also it has a lot of really, honestly, just fun Christmas related kills.
Yeah.
And then it actually has like a heart to it too. It was definitely in consideration for that category for me. Have you seen it, Harry?
I have not. I remember all the trailers, all the promos for it, but I never got around to it.
You should check it out this Christmas season. I think it's streaming on Prime. Violent Night, that's a good one. All right, this is tough. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take oh man, here's the thing. I have the shorts one is pretty thin. I think I'm gonna wait on it though and go ahead and take my drama. This is another one that I think is great. I'm gonna go ahead and take Miracle on 34th Street, the original one. Not the one with the Matilda girl that was made in when was that? Like the 90s or the early 2000s, I think. The remake.
I'm not sure the date.
My question is, are you taking the original black and white version, or are you taking the remastered colored version?
Yeah, not the remake. Not the remake that they did. The original black and white Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah, I'm always curious about what people think when they take those classics and add color to it. I think it kind of ruins it. I personally like the black and white look. But yeah, I'm curious what y'all think.
Yeah, I didn't even know they had colorized it, honestly. I've only seen the black and white version. I know they did a remake of it with the girl from the Matilda movie when I was like a kid, so I feel like it was in the 90s. But yeah, I didn't know they colorized the original one.
Yeah, they've colorized that one. It's a Wonderful Life, a handful of others from that time period. I guess because they're trying to make it appeal to maybe a modern audience who wants color instead of black and white, but there's just something classic and iconic to the black and white look.
No, I definitely agree. And I think too, the vision of the person directing it and the choreography, not thinking the right word. The filming of it in black and white had a specific vision, and just slapping a coat of paint on it. I don't know. Maybe it's fine. I'm just overreacting, but I feel like I like black and white.
It's like trying to put an Instagram filter on something that was made a long time ago. It just doesn't. You just shouldn't. Shouldn't do it.
Yeah. I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm glad I didn't know. But yeah, I would never watch a colorized version. I'm only watching that. I did see recently though. I watched. This is not Christmas related. I just thought it was interesting. Before Harrison picks, I watched A Trip to the Moon. It's like the early 1900s short. It's like a little short film. And I started watching it. I think it was on Max, and it's only like 15, 20, 25 minutes long. But it's like these wizard guys that go to the moon and come back with an alien, basically, is the movie. But it was colorized, and I was like, wait, this is weird. I was like, why is it in color? I don't want to watch the like a colorized version. So I stopped it and I looked it up, and it turns out the guy that made the movie went frame by frame and painted it.
Wow.
And there was like pieces missing of it for a long time that they found, that he had like went frame by frame, like painting the the film, and then it was like projected and was like colorized, which is like incredible.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. It's not like it's a phenomenal piece of work, but it's definitely like probably a cool film history thing to check out. But yeah, I've gave Harrison some time to figure out what he's going to pick to top Miracle on 34th Street.
That's really funny because I haven't been thinking about it whatsoever. So I'm really on the spot here.
You have two picks though.
I get 2 picks. Yeah. So I think I should go action, horror, fantasy next because that's another category I'm a little worried about.
Okay.
Now, the problem is the horror Christmas genre is very small. So
it is.
I might lean into action here, and this may be controversial for some people. I
know where you're going.
am going to Die Hard. That's what I'm going to do for Christmas action.
Yeah, it's a smart pick.
Yes.
I agree. I don't think there's any question that it's a Christmas movie. It's at Christmas. There's a lot
the dude's
of
name
Christmas,
is Argyle.
jokes.
That's Christmas.
Yeah. And I mean, there's Christmas songs on the soundtrack. Like, come on. It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
People
that's a
can
fun
just
one
get
to
over
debate with
themselves.
people. I don't know. I'm speechless. But obviously I've shown my cards, so I'm going with Die Hard. Now, for my second pick, I don't want to go with something easy and, jeopardize my chances with something else. So I might go animated here. And are we including what am I thinking of? Stop motion, like claymation. Is that included in this?
Yes, that's animation. Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
You're making me nervous though.
Because there are a lot to pick from. If we open the door to claymation, there's tons of options.
Yeah.
So for animation, I think I'm going to go with Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I watched that one a ton as a kid. I kind of wanted to be Santa Claus in that movie because he had like a pet penguin and his best friend was like a wizard. Like as a kid, these ideas were just awesome. Like he's the coolest character ever.
And he's a ginger, which is like really appealing to me.
Yeah, 100%.
And he teaches a wizard how to like love again. I mean,
yeah,
an evil ice wizard, he melts his hard heart. Like, oh, it's beautiful. It's actually like a really fun, like little introduction to like the legend of Santa Claus too for kids, I feel like.
Yeah, I think so. I think some of the choices and maybe, the claymation is old. It's from the 60s or the 50s or 60s, I think. So some of it may be a little outdated looking and the shapes may be a little funny sometimes. But fantastic kids movie, and I think it's one that's on every year for me.
Yeah, agreed. My wife doesn't like love those Rankin Bass claymation movies, but I do. I grew up watching them, and so I just watch them with my son. She doesn't have to watch with us, but yeah, I would definitely watch those with my son. They're good. Yeah, that's a good pick. I am trying to figure out where I'm going to go next. It's tough because I don't. Okay, let me see. What do I have? Let me go to my personal list that y'all can't see. So I've taken my drama. I've taken my comedy. I guess y'all kind of took. You know what? I am going to go a little bit crazy here. I have some other action horror fantasies that I like, but I'm gonna actually take what would be considered an animated movie in this category. And I'm gonna take The Nightmare Before Christmas in action horror fantasy. It is an animated kind of horror fantasy movie. So I could have taken an animated, but it is my next most favorite in that category, and actually one of my favorite Christmas movies too. So I just love that movie. I think the music is like some of the best like written animated musical music ever. It's just like so clever and catchy and fun, and then the concept is fun. It's like it actually has interesting like themes of like, you know, loneliness and like being who, like knowing that you have a calling and like sticking to that and stuff like that. I just love it. It's so fun, and it's like it's actually beautiful. Have y'all both seen it, The Nightmare Before Christmas?
It's been a bit, but I've seen it. Yeah.
I actually haven't
You've seen it, Harry?
I just watched Corpse Bride for the first time this Halloween, and
Okay.
it was recommended that I jump right into Nightmare Before Christmas next. But I was
Mhm.
like, wait, I thought this was a Christmas movie, so it's on standby for right now.
Yeah, I always watch it either Halloween or Christmas every year. I didn't watch it Halloween this year, so it'll be Christmas for me this year.
That's a pretty unique
so-
movie to be able to fit with two different holidays like
It
that.
is. Yeah, it's so good. You're gonna love it, Harry. If you think the music in Muppet Christmas Carol is great, you're gonna love A Nightmare Before Christmas because it's got just as good, if not better, written music. And then I would say like it's one of the most beautifully animated movies too. Like it's obviously like it's kind of like the Halloween parts are like ugly because it's, you know, witches and stuff, but it's like beautifully animated. Like the way he shoots, like there's like the iconic shot of, you know, Jack Skellington against the moon. But like when you actually watch it in real time, it's like it's actually like, man, that's actually beautiful. But yeah, I love that movie, so I'm happy to take it here. But Andrew has 2 picks now. Coming
Okay.
the turn of round 3 and round 4.
So this is good because I had some blockbuster. I'm glad it's my pick. So I'm gonna go for comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think this is going to be contentious at all. I'm going to take Elf for my comedy.
Nice.
My relationship with that movie is funny because I think when we did Tenet, I talked about that was the first place I saw Dark Knight. That was my first introduction to Nolan. Was in my speech and debate class because we watch movies often. And I don't remember if it was specifically that class, but anytime in school we had an option to watch something like a sub or, you know, last day of, you know, the week or something. People wanted to watch this movie. And so I saw the first 45 minutes of Elf. I don't know how many times in high school. It's comical how many times. And it's a funny movie. It's a funny movie. So
yeah,
I'm going to grab that for comedy.
Yeah, love it.
And then for Blockbuster, thank you. Yeah, it's a good movie. For Blockbuster, I was really nervous when I saw Eli's sweater because Home Alone is my Blockbuster pick.
Okay, good.
that is a VHS that we wore out. I really like that movie.
Very good. Yeah. Yeah, Home Alone, Elf and Home Alone, two really solid picks. Like, you might have won the draft just with those two picks.
Well, and it's like I was gonna say, are we playing to win? Are we playing? Because I feel like those are really strong picks, and also two of my top Christmas movies. Honestly,
yeah.
The only reason I didn't grab them first, I think, is because I was more nervous about drama. Honestly, because I only had a couple options, and I was like, they're gonna get A Wonderful Life, and I'm gonna be dead in the water. But yeah.
No, that's good, and I'm glad you took Home Alone and Blockbuster, because now with my pick, I'm gonna take Home Alone 2 and Blockbuster because I like Home Alone 2 more than Home Alone 1.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a Home Alone 2 guy, and I knew someone would take Home Alone before Home Alone 2. And so I was just like waiting. I was waiting. I was just waiting for someone to take the first one so that I could pounce on the second one.
Are you saying you baited me with the sweater? Is that what that was?
I did. It was a bait. It was a bait and switch for sure. And I got you. But yeah, I think I'm probably in the minority liking Home Alone 2 most. But yeah, so I assume you like Home Alone 1 more.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely saw it way more, and I don't mean anything. I don't feel like the second one, I don't feel like I remember the second one as much. Like, it's not just like ingrained, like I've seen the first one so many times and it's just like classic, to me. So I didn't dislike the second one, but
yeah,
it doesn't scream Christmas to me for some reason as much as the first one.
Yeah. So here's why you're wrong.
Okay.
It's because what screams Christmas more than New York City and Christmas? Like, come on.
He's got a point.
Where's your stance, Harry? What's Home Alone or Home Alone 2?
So I am actually relatively new to the Home Alone multiverse because I saw I saw Home Alone 1 and 2 for the first time 2 years ago. I don't know how these movies slipped past me when I was a kid, but they did. And I loved the first one a ton.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. I think all the pranks in the final end of the movie where they're just getting bombarded, the sticky bandits or whatever are just getting torn apart. And all of those pranks are iconic. The second one is fun with the giant toy store. I just didn't think the brick house pranks and whatnot in the end was like as funny or as memorable as the first one. So I like the first one a little more.
See, I like here's why I like the second one. I think I'll like the gags, like the booby traps and stuff are like fun in both. And so the emotional thread in the first one is culminated with like the old man and his family, which I think is like a very touching scene. But in the second one, I really like the dynamic he has with the bird lady and like that emotional story arc a little bit more. Because I feel like in the first one, it's just like the old man's scary, and then like there's no relationship. It's just like a sweet conversation they have. And in the second one, I think he has like a real like relationship with the bird lady, which I love. And then also it's like I think the little like side thing with the Toy Story owner and like their little like back and forth is like really sweet. So yeah, and then I like that it's in New York City at Christmas time. I just like Home Alone 2 more. It's not like I like it a lot more. It's just like it has the edge for me. So
yeah, they're both great. Yeah. And then Home Alone 3 is just a dumpster fire of is what I've heard.
I actually haven't.
I've never seen it.
Yeah,
I probably did when I was a kid, but I don't remember it at all. So I'll say I didn't see it.
I was actually surprised when I opened the list to look for blockbusters that it was. I mean, it makes sense, obviously thinking about it for any length of time, but I just didn't know it was like, what was it, second, and then two was Home Alone, and 3 is Home Alone 2. I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah.
What are you gonna do? All right. Yeah, Harry, you're up. You got 2 picks.
Okay, I'm actually prepared this time. So,
Okay.
keeping with the trend of blockbusters, I might as well take mine now. I'm gonna go with
Blockbuster
The
round.
Santa Claus, featuring
Very
Tim
nice.
Allen. I have very vague memories of my older brother having a birthday party at the movie theater. You remember when that was a thing? He had a birthday
yeah,
party.
yeah.
He was born in December 7th is his birthday. And so he decided he wanted to see the Santa Claus in theaters as his birthday party. So there's very vague memories of that. Some old family photos of everyone like in their PJs going to the movies is
Yeah.
like very sweet, sentimental thing. But the movie overall, I like the concept of like killing Santa Claus makes you become him. It's just like a fun concept that I don't think has really been done before. And Tim
Yeah.
Allen is just hilarious. So
Yeah.
I feel pretty confident locking that one in for Blockbuster. And then comedy, I'm going to go ahead and swipe it now because the people who know me, they know I have to pick this movie. So I'm going to go ahead and lock it in. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, featuring Jim Carrey. If you
Yeah,
don't know
very
this
nice.
about me, this is my favorite movie of all time. And
Oh.
it's the movie I've seen the most in my life. Easily over 100 times I've seen it. And I've actually been impersonating Jim Carrey's version of the Grinch since I was in like kindergarten. I do the voice. I know probably 95% of the dialogue from the movie. It's like memorized. So this movie is incredibly special to me. I know it's not the greatest movie ever made, and that's okay. This movie is just extremely sentimental to me. It means the world, and I have to watch it every year and just be Jim Carrey is just, he is the great improviser, and there's so much improv in that movie. It's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. We I think so my wife works at a church, and they do like for their staff and like staff families, they like rent a theater every year around Christmas time. And a couple years ago, I want to say it was that movie. And we took Ezekiel, and it was technically his first time in a theater. And like he was like 2 years old, and he sat through that movie and like laughed actually. So that was fun. That was a fun memory. But yeah, that's a great one. But yeah, I didn't know that it was your like top movie all time. That's fun.
It is.
That's a fun.
My
that's a fun
Instagram handle used to be Mr. Grinch. That's how much I loved it.
You know, yeah, that's true.
That's true. I remember that.
Yep.
Back before you started the content creating.
That's right.
Yeah, I guess like I'll plug it here. You can go follow @Harrys. That's not like the @ symbol. It's like the word at.
That's right.
Harrys.
Spelled out.
Yeah. Spelled out. ATHARRYS. On Instagram. Is Instagram like where you're most active?
Instagram for sure. Facebook.
Yeah.
But yeah, YouTube
bit,
is the main
yeah.
one for sure.
Okay, YouTube. @Harrys. I think you're @Harrys on all 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, go follow him. He does some great like movie stuff. A lot of movie news. Like if you want to be plugged into like what's going on, movie news and like current movies coming out and stuff. Harry's doing some good stuff. We'll plug it again at the end.
Yeah. Appreciate the shout out.
But yeah. Yeah, dude. I gotta shout you out there. But yeah, it used to be Mr. Grinch. Now he's @Harrys, but he's still Mr. Grinch at heart, I think.
At heart, yes. My heart has grown 3 sizes since I saw that movie.
Nice. Okay. Well, I'm going to make my pick here. I am surprised it's still on the board. I actually amazed that I'm getting it here in the 5th round. I don't know how this happened, but I'm going to take A Christmas Story in wild card. It doesn't really fit into any other categories at this point for me. But yeah, I've been able to get like my 4 like favorite Christmas movies, I think, in this draft. So I'm really happy. I'm pretty sure. Well, okay, I take that back. My 4th slot on Letterboxd is accompanied by A Charlie Brown Christmas, which Harry took. But The Nightmare Before Christmas is up there. Definitely like top 5 or 6. So The Christmas Story it's just a classic. I love the way it's like narrated. It's very funny. A lot of like iconic scenes and quotes, and yeah. I don't know that there's much I need to say about A Christmas Story. But do y'all love A Christmas Story?
I have not seen it. I would put it on my list.
I have not seen it either, and from what I've heard from
It was on all. Yeah,
What I've heard is that-
sorry, we let you down there.
I've heard
crazy.
it's really a love it or you hate it kind of movie.
Really? I've never
Yeah.
met anyone that hated A Christmas Story.
And the majority of people who talk to me about it say that they hate it.
Really? Why do they hate it? Do they say why?
I don't remember specific reasons. Maybe they didn't like the bunny suit, or they didn't
Maybe
think
they
it
didn't
was
like
that
what?
funny. Isn't there a bunny suit, like a pink bunny?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's kind
I
of
guess
like
they didn't. I guess they didn't like that, or they didn't think it was that funny. I don't remember details, but yeah, I've heard mostly negative things about it.
Man, that's surprising to me. I grew up watching it like every Christmas, and I still do. But yeah, maybe it's one you have to like grow up with to really like. But yeah, I love A Christmas Story. I think it's funny. It's very funny. Now it's not like I'm rolling on the floor laughing funny. It's mostly just like really like makes you chuckle, like family situational comedy, kind of like goofy stuff like that. But yeah.
I'm gonna sound really silly because I said I didn't, but as soon as I searched for it and I'm seeing the images, I'm like, I've experienced this before, like the gun and the bunny suit. So maybe I've seen part of it, but not the whole thing. But yeah, my memory is not very good. But I've seen part of it, and when you were talking about it, it sounded really, really familiar. So
yeah, it's actually adapted from a book. I don't remember the name of it. I haven't read it, but my wife has, and she said it was good. It's basically like a lot of short stories from this guy's childhood that he like wrote, and like I don't know if he wrote it like memoir style or just like kind of a fictionalized version of how he remembers it, but it's kind of like narrated. So the movie's like kind of narrated in that way of like how you kind of read it in a book being narrated. Of like he's the narrator is like him as his older self, like remembering like Christmas when he was a kid, sort of thing. But yeah, I love A Christmas Story, and I'm glad I have it, but I'm also kind of sad that there's all these people out here saying that they hate it. So it messes up my Christmas spirit a little bit.
That's not very Christmas of them.
All right, Andrew, you got 2 picks, man.
Okay, so I am going to go for my animated pick. I tried, and I will say what it was because there's no conceivable way to even make it about Christmas. But I saw Puss in Boots: The Last Wish on Christmas Eve last year.
Okay.
And it was in Lafayette. It was the coldest I've ever been in a theater. Like I'm talking had on a sweater and an overcoat and like boots and a hat, and like we were all freezing cold. Like could see your breath cold almost in the theater. I love that movie. It's incredible, but there's no way, even though it feels Christmassy to me because of that experience, there was no way. But Close second for animated. I'm gonna grab Frosty the Snowman.
Good snag. The original like Rankin Bass one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which also kind of technically, I guess, would have fit on the. It's short, right? It's under.
Yeah, it is. It's
I
like
just remember
25 minutes.
Yeah, well, because I always remember seeing it and Charlie Brown on TV during Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, solid pick. It's Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah, yeah, it's really good. I like it. And then for short, I'm gonna go with my short as well. I'm really torn on this decision, but I feel pretty confident doing it. I'm going to grab the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday Christmas special.
Okay. Of course, you had to get your MCU pick in here.
My MCU, I found a way to get an MCU movie in this one.
No, you're sneaking it in here.
Well, this one is unassailable though. That's not even a stretch.
No, it's not. It's for sure a Christmas special. Or a holiday. I think it's technically says holiday special, I guess, is what the title is.
I fumbled. I started to say holiday. Maybe it is holiday, but I think.
Yeah. It's either Christmas or holiday special. Either way, it works. I didn't care for it a whole lot, but I know I was in the minority, so.
I could see it. It does kind of feel. It is the holiday special. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they have songs saying Christmas, so I don't know if
that was what say happy holidays. Well,
I mean, it makes sense in a generic way because there's so many holidays around this time. But if you're making a movie about Christmas, maybe I don't know. But yeah, it was enjoyable. I thought it was, especially leading into Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Oh, yeah. I'll stop talking about the MCU. We can move on.
Yeah, I just didn't feel like Drax and what's her name, Mantis. I didn't feel like they I didn't feel like they carried everything very well. I kind of got like it was kind of like, okay, I get it. It's they feel more like they work best for me as like filler characters. They're like not as the main characters, but as the characters that are like, kind of like throwing in the jokes, every once in a while. But
they both are comic. I mean, they're all comic relief, but
right.
I feel like they really are
they are,
because they both don't understand things, and Drax takes everything literally, and so yeah.
But yeah, I didn't. It wasn't for me, but a lot of people loved it. So, I'm the one that's like, I'm the one that's wrong there, I guess. Just like Harrison's friends are wrong about A Christmas Story. Yeah, it's my pick. Let's see. I only have 2 picks left. I have to fill animated and shorts. I am gonna hold on. Y'all have both picked animated, and y'all have both picked shorts, so it doesn't really matter where I go here. So let me pick whatever I like more. Let's see. Okay, I like the animated movie I have next left. And I'm gonna go with the other major Rankin Bass movie in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I like it. And Santa Claus is Coming to Town pretty similarly, but I think I like Rudolph a little more. I think it's probably the songs. I like the songs in Rudolph more. The few songs there are, and then I love the Abominable Snowman. I love Yukon Cornelius, like plugging away at with his little pickaxe. But yeah, I love Hermie, the elf that wants to be a dentist. It's great. I like it. It's a fun movie. My wife hates it because of the noise Rudolph's nose makes.
Yeah, that was
I understand. It's not the best noise in the world.
That was a rough noise.
Yeah. Oh man, but yeah, I'll take that in animated. So Harrison's
Good
up.
pick.
These are your last two picks, Harry.
Sweet. I'm ready to lock it in. I think I'm going to start with my wild card first, because I know for sure it will count. You guys may need to double check me on my drama pick, but for wild card, I'm going to go with National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I didn't
Yeah,
know this
good
movie
pick.
existed until probably the end of high school or college, because it's not really meant for kids. It's kind
Yeah.
of an adult comedy. And I specifically remember the scene where Clark Griswold is bobsledding and he just shoots off like a rocket. I was
Yeah.
just like crying, laughing. Me and my sister, we were just dying at that scene. So it has very memorable, hilarious moments. And I could see how it would be like A Christmas Story, in that some
Mhm.
people love it, some people hate it. It has a very, I don't know, just like an 80s feel. I guess
Oh,
people
yeah.
just like being dry sense of humor, or like tongue in cheek. It's just very hit or miss with people. But
Mhm.
I thought it was hilarious. So for my drama pick, and you guys can double check me on this, I am kind of struggling to pick one, but I think I have an idea of what could work. So I'm going to
Okay.
pick The Polar Express as drama. Any thought?
Yeah, I think it counts.
Yeah, I would say.
Sweet. I feel like it's drama, but it's not like a talky drama. It's more of an action adventure. So
Mhm.
the drama of the story of the journey to the North Pole is communicated through all of these adventurous scenes on the train, and that's what I'm sticking with.
Yeah.
Good pick.
I looked on Letterboxd and it does not have drama listed as part of the drama as under the genres for on Letterboxd, but I think it probably is. It has family listed. It's like I feel like, and then in like the Letterboxd has like the nano genres now, and it says one of them is holiday joy and heartwarming Christmas. And I feel like if heartwarming is in there, like there's probably drama maybe fits under that. But yeah, I think it counts. I'm willing to allow it, even though
Okay, thank
Letterboxd
you.
apparently disagrees.
Merry Christmas, Eli.
The Polar Express.
I really enjoyed that book. Maybe I'm thinking
Mhm. It's like a
I
picture
enjoyed-
book.
Yeah, I had the picture
Yeah.
book, and I feel like I had a cassette of like somebody reading it too.
Mm.
I just remember really enjoying the way the book made me feel, because especially being an American, trains are just like this mystical thing that we don't ever get. I've only ridden on a train once in my life, like, you know, it's taking you to the North Pole and all that.
Yeah.
And then that's a good movie. I enjoyed it. It's
I don't
some
like the animation. It's kind of uncanny valley for me.
I was gonna say it's that weird in between before they figured out how to go full, you know, just 3D animated.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good pick, Harry.
I do want to add one thing that I love that has come out because of that movie is most cities now do an actual Polar Express trip where you can like hop on a train in your hometown and they'll take you to like the nearest train station and you can like sip on hot chocolate and have like Christmas treats and dress
That's
up
cool.
with your parents and your family. So that's a really cool idea that has come out and has become really popular because of that movie. And I love that.
Yeah, that's fun. That's a fun Christmas activity for sure. Yeah. Man, this is my last pick. And all I have left is short specials and TV. And I know exactly what I'm going to pick. I am going to go with Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the original animated short. Yeah, I don't have much to say about it. It's just kind of a classic that is fun and has the classic song, and yeah, I like it. It's good. It pretty much tells like the story beat for beat.
Yeah.
It's good. I feel like that's a good last pick.
Yeah. Good solid last pick.
Andrew, you're wrapping things up. This is the last pick over.
Bring us home, Andrew.
Well, I'm going to wrap it up with contention. Although I don't feel contentious about this pick. But I told Hunter, and she said, "That's not a Christmas movie." And then I explained my defense, and she said, "Oh, I don't really remember that movie very well then." I'm going to go with the Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Okay,
That's my wild card pick.
That's
okay,
fair.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's like a borderline. It's like, okay, because a movie mentions Christmas or has like one scene in Christmas, does that make it a Christmas movie? But
I'm actually going to push back a little bit on this because I think that is a fantastic movie. Although Christmas is not a central theme or plot element of the story, and the only reason I'm pushing back on this is because there's a lot of people that would include like every Harry Potter movie as Christmas because there's one sequence or one scene that takes place during that time. So that's the only contention I have with that.
Yeah.
So my defense would be, unless I'm grossly misremembering it, Christmas not being like happening during the Ice Queen's reign, right? The White Witch's reign. And so then the conclusion of them defeating her is Christmas can come back, right? Or Father Christmas can come back. And I don't know. I mean, it feels more connected to me than like, okay, say Iron Man 3. Like, oh, it just happens at Christmas. I'm not going to go there. Like that's too broad. But I feel like since it's not just like the location or the plot, like it's not just in the background, it's kind of Christmas is affected by the plot. Makes it more Christmassy than the Harry Potter movies. But I mean, I'm not gonna, if it's split, if I can't convince you, I'm not gonna take it.
My initial thought when I was looking at this was, because I had it on my list for the action horror fantasy portion. Because I was thinking like, well, would it really be considered a Christmas movie? Because it's like, it just, it mentions Christmas, but when you really think about it, it is like Christmas can't come. Like part of the whole thing is like, there's this like melancholy that is like hanging over Narnia because it's always winter, but never Christmas.
Yeah.
And like the whole resolution of like the problem that where Aslan, sacrifices himself, and then like Christmas can finally come. It's like this idea of Christmas being like rebirth and like representing that in the same way like that it represents like the incarnation of Jesus, like Jesus coming. And so like when you like think about it a little bit, like underneath the surface, there is that theme running through. But yeah, I don't know. I can kind of see both sides. I don't know. What do you think, Harry? Do you think we shouldn't have let Andrew take it, or?
I mean, it's your show, so it's ultimately your call.
Here's what we can do. We can let him take it, and then the people will decide. If they see it and they're like, Andrew cheated, he picked The Witch and the Wardrobe, then they won't vote for him,
Okay. Yeah, I stand by it. I feel like maybe letting the people decide is fair. I mean, I don't know if I want to stake my entire draft on this one film when I could just pick another one.
So you're gonna stick with it, or are you gonna it's up to you. I'll let you stick with it if you're gonna stick with it. It's definitely made for good podcasting.
Yeah, well, yeah, I agree. My problem is I don't have a runner-up to even go with.
Okay.
Because I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like it embodies not only is deeper than just occurring at Christmas like other movies do,
Mhm.
but Christmas is both directly implicated by the plot of the movie, but then it's also kind of the idea. I mean, in the Christmas existed before
Mhm.
the White Witch, but so in that case, it's not exactly a one-to-one with Christ, but the idea of something preventing Christmas from happening and then Christ coming in Aslan. That's the picture there.
Yeah.
And so I feel good picking it.
Yeah. If you would have just been like, well, it mentions Christmas, then but you have like a legitimate argument for it. So yeah, we'll let it stand. You came ready to defend it, and that's the respect there. We'll let you take it, and then the people will decide if you're ludicrous or not.
The one last thing I wanted to say about it is hilarious to me that Santa's gifts to the kids are all weapons, right? I don't remember Edmund's gift, but yeah. I mean, Peter gets a sword, Lucy gets a dagger.
Yeah,
best Christmas ever.
True. Yeah, best Christmas ever. And it relates back to A Christmas Story because
yeah,
he gets his Red Ryder BB gun for Christmas. Spoiler alert, my bad. But I feel like that's common knowledge at this point in history, in film, the Christmas film history. Yeah, that was really fun. I think do y'all want to we can each like read back our picks, our full list of picks in what category?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that. Since Harry, since you picked first, you want to read out do you have the doc pulled open?
Yeah, I wrote mine down.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and read out yours and what category you picked them in.
All right, so the winning draft is going to be for blockbuster, The Santa Claus, action horror fantasy, Die Hard, comedy, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Jim Carrey version, drama, The Polar Express, animated, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, short specials TV is going to be The Charlie Brown Christmas, and for my wild card, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Very nice. And I picked second. I'll go ahead and read mine out. In blockbuster, I got Home Alone 2. Action horror fantasy, I got A Nightmare Before Christmas. In comedy, I took A Muppet Christmas Carol. In drama, I took Miracle on 34th Street, the original. In animated, I took Rankin Bass's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. In short specials and TV, I took How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the original animated short. And in wild card, I took A Christmas Story. Andrew, why don't you read yours off?
Alrighty. So for blockbuster, I picked Home Alone. For action, horror, fantasy, I picked Violent Night. For comedy, I picked Elf. For drama, It's a Wonderful Life. Animated, Frosty the Snowman.
Mm-hmm.
Short special TV, the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. And for wildcard, I picked The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Very nice. All right. I feel like we all have like really solid lists.
Yeah,
I'm really
I would agree with that.
I'm really interested to see like who wins. I feel like it's going to be pretty close.
Yeah.
That's what's great about Christmas is there's just so many great movies that people can enjoy for a variety of reasons.
Yeah, for sure. Do y'all have any honorable mentions that y'all wanted to shout out that people should check out?
Well, I did have one I wanted to mention because I'm actually going to be able to see it in theaters coming up. So no spoilers. But Tokyo Godfathers, I saw. I don't even know the connect. I didn't realize the connection.
Yeah.
Honestly, to Christmas because my friend just said, "Hey, buy this ticket. We're going to see this." So I'm really excited to see that.
It's very, very good. It's very good. Yes.
Okay.
It's I actually didn't have it on my list, but that's just because I forgot to put it on there.
Yeah, okay.
I very easily could have taken that and animated. It's for nostalgia's sake, I probably still would have taken like Rudolph, but yeah, it's right there. It's a very good like. It's very funny and very like heartfelt. It's a Japanese animated movie. For those who don't know, Tokyo Godfathers. I saw. I guess I saw the dubbed version. Are y'all seeing a dubbed version or?
So we're seeing the sub version.
Okay, I can't remember what I saw.
Yeah,
it feels like I might have watched this. I usually try to watch the sub version if it's available. So I honestly can't remember which one I watched, but I watched it. Actually watched it earlier this year randomly.
Really?
Yeah. I think it was like over the summer. I don't know why. I was bored and I was like, oh, there's this movie. I'm gonna watch it.
I don't think subbed versions very often come to Lafayette, from my experience, and including
I
just
watched
like
it streaming. So
yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, but like I don't even think, unless I'm misremembering, I don't think Parasite came to Lafayette until it won.
It did.
Until it won. Though. It came. Did it become 4?
It might have been after, because I went and saw it in theaters when it came to theaters here. But yeah, is the new Godzilla movie, is Godzilla -1 in Japanese?
Or is it
or is it English language?
I just saw announcement. I didn't see anything about it.
It's showing right now here in Lafayette.
Okay.
But yeah. Tokyo Godfathers is actually a really good one. Did y'all have any? Did you have any, Harry, that you wanted to shout out that we didn't draft?
I don't think so.
Cool. Yeah. I
don't think Frozen is a Christmas movie. I just want to say that
it's not. It's absolutely not a Christmas movie.
I'll defend it. Let's go.
You can take like the Olaf one, the Olaf little Christmas short. I think there's there's I don't know. There's like one where he's like trying to find presents for people or something. It showed before. Was it Coco? You know how they used to do like the shorts before Pixar movies? I want to say it showed before Coco, and I was very angry because it's not like a typical Pixar short. It was like 25 minutes long. So I'm like, I'm excited to watch Coco, and then I have to sit through a 25-minute long Olaf Christmas special.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
So yeah, even if that were good, I would still hate it because they made me sit through it before I watched Coco.
Yeah, that seems like a wild length to have for a pre-movie.
Yeah, it's strange. It was a strange choice.
I did have one other short. I wasn't seriously. This was like a back pick for me. I was not seriously considering it, but I had it just in case. Prep and Landing. I remember enjoying that. I mean, for what it was, nothing spectacular, but it's funny and Christmassy enough, and also kind of, spy can fit with that too. They're secret agent elves.
Yeah. I've never seen that. I've heard of it though. Maybe I'll probably check it out. Yeah. Is it a good like little kids short? My son might like it.
I think that was the like pitch point. Like it was out on TV, like ABC around Christmas, and it was relatively new. It wasn't very old.
Cool. Yeah.
Maybe 2015, 16.
Sweet. Yeah, I have a few that I want to give a shout out to. White Christmas is a great classic. I don't know if y'all have seen it. It's old, kind of like, it has like the old Hollywood musical kind of feel. But yeah, White Christmas is really good, really enjoyable. Let's see. I guess that would be a drama or a wild card. It's a musical, but I guess it's a drama. I don't know. I did catch up with a few in the action horror fantasy category because I wasn't sure what I might be able to get there. So I watched actually this Norwegian Christmas movie called Rare Exports: A Christmas Tale, and it's like this really strange. It's kind of like a horror fantasy movie, and there's like these Americans digging on the border of like Norway and Russia. And it's supposed to be like the grave of Santa Claus, and there's this little boy.
Oh.
And him and his friend are mischievous, so he's like looking up Santa Claus to figure out what Santa Claus is, and he realizes like, oh, Santa Claus is evil and like tortures kids. And so it's like that version of Santa Claus. And then this like kids start going missing in the town, and then like, yeah, there's like a little twist that I don't want to give away in case anyone decides to check it out. But yeah, definitely I had a good time with it because it was like a strange Christmas story that I've never like seen done before. So definitely worth checking that one out. And then let's see. Like I said, I did check out Violent Night. The other one that I wanted to shout out, if you have a kid, The Snowman. It's like a 25-minute short. It's based on a book that is kind of like comic book panel style with no like words or dialogue or anything, of this like little boy building a snowman, and then it comes to life, and he like shows him around his house, and the snowman like takes him flying off. So we read the book from the library and then watched the short with my son, and it was pretty cute, and the animation is really, really cool too. Kind of like that hand-drawn comic booky looking animation. Very just cute one. And then the last one that I'm going to shout out, and I'll make it the official recommendation of the week, is go see The Holdovers in theaters.
I was wondering if that was going to come on your draft list.
Yeah, I didn't draft it because I ended up getting A Christmas Story and Wild Card, but I had kind of planned to possibly take The Holdovers and Wild Card. It's fantastic. It's
really? Okay.
Yeah, I loved it. It's got that classic movie kind of feel to it, not in the sense of like it's going to become a classic, but just like it feels like the classic movies. It's like it's a dramedy, and I feel like there's not a lot of like really good dramedies made anymore. Like it's very heartfelt. I would say like the major theme being explored is I want to say it was Josh Larson from the podcast Film Spotting. I think he said something like it's about the hard work of being kind to one another. But yeah, you have like three major characters, and it's set at a boys' boarding school in the 70s, and there's like a grumpy professor that none of the boys like that is in charge of watching the boys that have to hold over the Christmas holiday, that like have to stay at the boarding school. And so there's the teacher, one of the main boys, and then there's the cook lady that like she had lost her son, went to the school, and she lost him in the Vietnam War. And so there's like that fun, like there's that like really like funny dynamic between those three characters, and then like each character kind of has like a full arc too, in like their like dealing with their past and who they're going to be and that sort of thing. It's just really really does have that classic movie feel, and is like really funny, and also like really, really like touching and heartwarming. Like I walked out of the theater and I was like, man, that was so like heartwarming. Like I was smiling. So yeah. So any movie where it's like set at Christmas and you walk out like feeling like you have a warm heart, like that's a good Christmas movie, So yeah, I highly recommend seeing The Holdovers before it leaves theaters. It'll probably stick around for the holiday season, I would think. But yeah, very good movie. Paul Giamatti. Gotta love him. But yeah.
Yeah, I was considering seeing it because
Yeah.
I see something about it, but yeah, I definitely will check that out.
Yeah, highly recommend. You haven't seen it either, Harry?
No, I haven't. I remember seeing the trailers when,
Mhm.
I mean, it was like in every trailer for like the month or two of movies that I saw in theaters beforehand. So it definitely got a
Yeah.
lot of promotion.
Yeah. I feel like it even has some like Oscar buzz, which is I guess surprising before you see it, but after you see it you're like, "Oh, okay, like I get it." Like there's some like very Oscar-y dramatic performances, that sort of thing. So it's like, "Oh, okay, I see it." But yeah, go see The Holdovers, and then watch your favorite Christmas movies with your family. It's Christmas time. But yeah, I think that's all we have for this episode. Do you guys have any random Christmas things you want to say? Encouragements, a tradition? I don't know. Y'all got anything?
I will say,
I'm throwing
Merry
y'all on the
Christmas.
spot.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Christmas with family is great.
Yeah.
Being around family on Christmas is great, and
And if you,
looking forward to it this
can't
year.
be around your family on Christmas, find some people to be family with.
Yeah, I can't believe
what Christmas
we're
is all
recording
about.
this on the 1st. It's already December,
It
so
is, yeah.
that's wild.
It is. Yeah, man, it is already December 1st. As we're recording, this isn't releasing on December 1st, so everyone listening is going to be like, why are they talking about it being December 1st? But
It'll be even closer to Christmas.
yeah. Any last words, Harry, before we sign off?
I was just going to say that one of my favorite traditions is seeing Christmas lights. I just love
Yeah.
what people can do with them. Like the people who go all out and do the house synchronized to music is just like so intense, and I love it. I will say though that like last year I developed an astigmatism in my eye. So now Christmas lights are just 10 times better than they used to be because it's blinding and I can't see anything. So Christmas lights are the best, and I got to go find some.
It's fun driving at night with that too, huh?
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. I can't see anything.
Yeah. I've had some astigmatism in both my eyes for a long time now, so totally get that. The glasses help, but yeah,
Christmas will never be the same.
Yeah, they actually make these like they look like the old 3D glasses. They're like cardboard, and they're like have like a colored like thing, but they have like a design built into it, and you can like put it on and it'll like make all your Christmas lights look like little Frosties or Santa Clauses or something. Those are fun. I don't know where you get those, but I've seen them before, and they're fun to look at Christmas trees with your kids. But so basically go watch The Holdovers, spend time with your family, and look at Christmas lights. That's all we have for you. Had a great time. Looking forward to spending Christmas with family and doing some traveling, but we'll be signing off. I'm not sure as of our recording date if I'll have any kind of filler episodes for the rest of December. This should be coming out December 15th. And so we'll see if I can put together some filler episodes to release those last 2 weeks of Christmas. But if I don't, you can keep an eye on my socials and see what I have coming up. If I don't have anything coming out, I'll see you in the new year. No promises, because it's Christmas time. This isn't the priority during the Christmas season. So I look forward to the new year. I don't think Andrew and Harrison know, but or I don't know if they've listened to the episode that released literally today. Probably not, because it just released today. But I did announce I'm going to be doing my next series is going to be early Spielberg. It's going to be doing the first 2 decades of Spielberg's films. So that'll be fun. I'll be starting that up sometime in the new year. So be looking forward to that. But until then, I've been Eli Price for Andrew Fossier and Harrison Fredericks. You've been listening to The Establishing Shot. We will see you next year, maybe? We'll see. Bye. Thank you so much for joining us on The Establishing Shot today. We hope you enjoyed the episode and got a lot out of it. Make sure before you go to like and subscribe on all your podcast platforms, and especially on Spotify and Apple. If you could leave a rating and review, that would greatly help the visibility of the podcast, and I would greatly appreciate it. Again, if you go to establishingshotpod.com, you can find out all you need to know about the show, where to find us on the social media platforms, where to find us podcast-wise, YouTube, and you can even leave a voicemail there on the website on the right side of your screen. So click that if you want to give a comment or ask a question about the show. Just feel free to leave a voicemail. We'd be happy to feature that on the show. And also, if you just want to email rather than leave a voicemail, you can email us at establishingshotpod@gmail.com, and we would be happy to answer your question there or feature a question or comment on the show if it pertains to the episodes. So please do that, and we would love for you to join the Establishing Shot family. You can, again, find where to do that on the donate page at establishingshotpod.com. We hope you have a great week, and we look forward to seeing you again next time.
We were happy here for a little while.
But look, I figure it this way. Better to be king for a night than schmuck for a lifetime.